Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the North American Star Team League. Today we have the opening day, which is going to feature Evil Geniuses against Empire. And this is, for all of you that know already, this is the Ghost, well, that don't know already, this is the Ghost Coaching Premier League kind of rematch. They met up in the finals for this GCPL, and Empire took it last time. And Empire starts off with a clear 1-0 win against Puma. And that is a very, very big win because NASL has definitely showcased Puma to be one of the best players in the world, winning Season 1 and Season 2. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the game, and we will go ahead and check out Aristeo versus JYP.
Yeah, in that last game, I feel like I haven't really given Happy enough. Oh, no, I haven't recovered either. I haven't given Happy enough credit for thinking back to just being a fan in Brood War. Anytime a foreigner, as it were, took a game off a Korean, top Korean like that, it was just, you know, everyone was popping champagne all over the world. So, again, big kudos to Happy. That was a remarkable game.
That was pretty sick. You know, especially with the builds that happened in the beginning stage, I felt like Puma was ahead. I was saying this before, and then all of a sudden, just game came crashing down on Puma. That Raven build is so interesting, although I feel like it is susceptible a little bit, but I won't go into it too much longer, but you saw that like Puma did have the chance to like go back and forth, and just really have the initiative in all the fights. He got to choose wherever the fights were, and we saw Happy just skirt around Puma's force and just try to keep doing the Hunter Seeker missiles. Obviously, it was enough time, and he got so many Hunter Seeker missiles out that it didn't even matter in the long run. He could play that war of attrition.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, netizens, citizens of the internet, everywhere, please be gentle. That was my first ever game I've casted. As a Zerg player, that was a confusing experience for me. Hour-long TBT.
But so, you know what? You are...
Be nice, guys.
FireZerg, you are a Protoss. LOL, just kidding. You are a Zerg. Hey, why don't you go ahead and explain this particular matchup, PvZ, for all of us?
Well, that would take a while, wouldn't it?
Well, how about the builds in particular?
How about the builds?
We do have a 15 Nexus going down for JYP, followed up by a Forge, and then we have, of course, the 14-14 coming out from Aristeo.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The thing that interests me the most about this is, again, the map. Last game, I think the map was supremely important, as it is in most games, and in this game it will be as well. It's a very interesting map. I like the use of destructible rocks, which is not something I will say probably ever again, because I hate destructible rocks as a concept. But here, it doesn't stop you from taking your third. You can take it, you can take these out, and then you can defend it. That I like.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
Definitely, and it does have 3 armor, so it takes forever to kill those as well. For Zerg, for Protoss, not as much because they have Stalkers and Zealots, but Zealots don't really do that much. I think it's 10 damage that they deal for each swipe, 5 and 5, and then the Stalkers, they're doing 12, I believe, 12 damage, and then so -3, it's going to be 9. So it's going to take quite a long time for any race to kill this shield debris at this early game stage. But we do have an expansion coming out directly after Aristeo. So Aristeo did go for the just metabolic, straight metabolic boost type of opening. He did cut gas afterwards. You can see he's only at 8 gas right now. I think this is probably one of the more standard builds that we have seen. What I really like about JYP is that he went Forge, Gateway, and then put down the cannon. That's really, really cool, and the reason why I like that is it pushes your tech out so much faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was not an 11 pool, this was not a 9 pool, not a 6 pool, not really any reason. And this is a huge map. You just follow the screen from one ramp, even the ramp of the natural to the other. That is a huge distance, if I'm not mistaken. Often with this 14-14 sort of build, you've got the tacit threat of maybe I'm going to cancel my expansion, make a Roach Warren. And this map, I don't think that threat really exists because the rush distance is just so long. We haven't, if I'm not mistaken, we haven't seen a second probe scout from JYP, so he might be onto that.
Yeah, I do want to mention that Aristeo has a huge amount of... Whoa! Actually, I thought he had so many drones at this point. We're only 6 minutes into the game. He has pretty much complete saturation, like optimal saturation on the main base, and you know, he has a pretty big amount. Not quite optimal. He needs a couple more drones to get there, but he has a lot of drones. I was going to mention that, but look at that, 33 harvesters from Aristeo. So he's been able to chrono boost all of his nexus completely. That's what we've been seeing, and that's what I've actually been watching. And he's kept up with the Zerg. And how many times does a Protoss actually keep up with larva-injected, larva-injected drones?
Well, I'm very curious about this third queen. I don't believe that is something you see all that much. I feel like that might go down on a map like Shattered or TDA where you can't put down your third hatchery, but on this map it seems like it's kind of a... These rocks don't prevent you outright from taking it. You take the hatchery at the time you normally would. You take them out the circlings later or during. I don't understand the choice of the third queen. I think that's part of the reason why we see the more even worker counts than you would normally expect from a CVP.
Sure. And yeah, I mean, I would like the third after I actually take a... Or the third queen after I actually take a third. I think that would be a lot better position. Normally, just because you saw the Forge Fast expansion, let's go ahead and check what we saw the Forge Fast expansion. We know what our opponent's range is. It could be some sort of 2-base all-in, but normally when you take a quick third, you're able to, you know, you have builds that are set up to be able to deal with that kind of timing. You get your roaches out, you're absolutely fine. Or you can go the Zergling type of variation where you defend with +1 attack Zerglings. I'm not a huge fan of that over the roaches though, but I think taking a faster third would have been a better idea, but Aristeo not even going to take his third right now. It's already 9 minutes in. He's getting Glial Reconstitution +1 missile attacks, and he's just going to be massing up, I think. Wow, an Infestation Pit. What is this going to be?
This is a very different philosophy than I am used to seeing from a Zerg against a Protoss who Forge expands. I'm going to get my lair very quickly, I'm going to grab my 4 gases very quickly, and I'm going to take my third fairly slowly and go right to infestors. So I'm excited to see what this is going to yield.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of times when we see stuff like this, we do see double upgrades on the bottom, and normally it's for your Zerglings, not your roaches, because the roaches take up a considerable amount of gas. I know it's only 25, but you need to make a lot of them, a ton of them. And, you know, every single, what is it going to be, 150 gas for each infestor, so that is... How come I'm blanking? 6 roaches is 1 infestor, or at least the gas count. So I think going roaches is kind of weird, and then also getting infestors out. It's just like you're trying to eat your cake and or have your cake and eat it too. And I don't know if I completely agree with that, but Aristeo, of course, a much better Zerg than me and understands this game a lot better. Dark Templar is going to run in here. Can they actually get it up into the main? There is another Spore Crawler over here, but no units around. Now finally the Stalkers and Sentries are going to push forward. The Infestors pop out at the perfect timing. They do have enough energy for a single fungal growth, and they pop it down. There it goes.
And there's one queen going down in the main, though. These Dark Templars. And there is a Spore Crawler there, but these two have the potential to do a ton of damage.
Yeah, and JYP just ripping through in that main. That one Spore Crawler needs to be taken out. 2 Dark Templars over here. The Roaches are going to go all the way back. Oh my god, that one weakened Dark Templar is actually going to get picked off, and now finally the second Dark Templar will die. So overall, I mean, where do you think JYP is? Where do you think Aristeo is in? Who has the advantage right now, FireZerg?
Well, that's a tough one to call. I would just say JYP has the advantage. Supplies are even. But that was a fairly convincing hold from Aristeo. I almost feel like watching this, he did his homework. I don't know how distinctive JYP's style is, but if I were going to be attacked at the time I was attacked, or the Zerg was attacked in this game, with what he attacked with, and have Dark Templar split, I would have done exactly what Aristeo did. Just put Spore Crawlers up.
Nice trap, but he loses most of the sentries. Actually, all the sentries will go down. Keep in mind, these Stalkers do have blink, so they can blink back and makes for very efficient trades. At this point, I don't see JYP getting anything else but Stalkers and just building that huge, massive Stalker count. He's going to be able to blink back against any particular army. Again, going Roaches, I'm not a huge fan because the Infestor-Roach combination, it's good, but you have to be on higher gas counts. Only on 4 gas, you can't really do everything at once. Your upgrades are kind of falling short. 1-0 against 2-0-0 for the Protoss. JYP in a, I think, massive advantage at this point.
Yeah,
and he's pushing forward.
Expect GG soon. I think. Wait, I don't know. To explain this game, perhaps Aristeo was trying to prepare too much for what he assumed was going to come. Didn't do that by preparing his economy for it, but rather by putting up a stack defense he felt he needed. In this case, though, JYP just powering through that regardless.
Yep, and you can see JYP just has huge attention in his stalker count. Just going to go ahead. Drones being pulled offline. The Overseer's coming over here, just chilling at the top over here. But big blink in. He wants to snipe down all these roaches and the Infestor. The Infestor is just going to waddle its way forward to its death. GG comes out from Aristeo. And there you have it. Just like that, it ties up 1-1. Yeah. I have to question Aristeo's build a little bit. I think, you know, it's. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I think there might be it's suboptimal. You know, for what he's trying to do. If he's trying to do a very defensive type of style, I think going for Zerglings, double upgrading them, and then going into Infestors might have been able to keep him fine. But I can also see Aristeo, because I've seen him in the past. He has built that like super composition where you just get roaches, Infestors right away, and then just keep working on those units. Because even if I get double upgrades on Zerglings, I can lose them easily. I mean, Colossus doesn't care. He just goes and then kills all your Zerglings anyway, regardless of your upgrades. So it could be a thought process like that. I'm not quite sure, but we could see Aristeo definitely falling behind in that last game. Yeah,
and I don't know enough about Aristeo's builds, his playstyle, etc., to really be able to comment on that.
Well, just in general, how do you feel like your Zerg player? How do you feel that style just matches up in CVP?
Well, I don't know. I always, and maybe this is just a product of me being a Brood War player, I always want to take that fast third when I see a Forge expand. And I feel that if you don't, you have to have a very good reason why you're not doing that.
Yeah.
And again, I can only posit that the Zerg Aristeo may have looked at a replay and gone, DTs are going to be coming in at this time, and I'm going to have to get my Spore Crawlers up, and he might have had very good reasons for that. I've done that many times, gone into a clan war, researched my opponent, he's going to Baneling bust me, and I try and do some sort of huge variation from what I normally do, and it doesn't quite work out. Again, no, I'm not basing that assumption on much.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. Well, obviously, JYP able to take out his opponent Aristeo falling to him. It puts the clan war at 1-1, everybody, so stay tuned. We're going to go into more action.
Exciting.
The third game of EG versus Empire after this.